Now let's take a look at the biggest stories from the world of sport on Showbiz with the wonderful duo of Chris Scudder and the lovely Hayley Palmer. Lovely to see you both here.
Nice to see you again.
Talking about beautiful designs and everything. You quite like my tie, don't you?
Well, but it wasn't me. I think the audience were shocked, and they said
it's catching my eye.
Well, the thing was, I think most of the audience were saying, "What does Phil's tie remind us of?" And then we were like, "Oh, I don't know. What does it remind us of?" And then somebody said, "Go on, what do you think?"
Battenberg cake.
Oh yeah, that's my favourite.
All right,
Battenberg cake.
That's it.
And then somebody said,
We've got a winner. We've got a winner though.
No, somebody said it wasn't Battenberg cake, but I'm with you on that because I happen to love Battenberg cake.
Yeah.
It's actually Elmer the elephant.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, that's it.
Or
That's it. Yeah.
Harlequin's rugby shirt.
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, I suppose, fair enough.
So many of our viewers were thinking that tie is wild or crazy, one of the two.
Can I just say that minute for people on radio has been a complete disaster for them.
Like, what is going on?
Lots of bright colours.
Oh, yeah, bright squares going in different directions. If you had a hangover, you don't want to look at that tie. That's what I'm saying. It would make you go a bit sort of squizzy.
The height of fashion.
Mind you, it does go with the colours on your outfit.
Yeah, we're loving the bright colours today. It's Easter. It's spring, isn't it?
So what's the top sports story today?
It depends when you look ahead or back, really. But I mean, Burnley celebrating promotion last night. You know, great stat this. Good Friday last year, they sacked Sean Dyche, who's now at Everton, from your neck of the woods. 1 year on, they get promoted back to the Premier League. Lost a load of players last year. They owed 60 million. They've got new owners as well, but everyone thought they're just going to vanish now. Absolutely romped to the title in the Championship with Vincent Kompany, who learned the trade as a coach as a player under Pep Guardiola. So they're going to be in the Premier League next year, playing some good football. So and today it's all about scrambling at the bottom. Who's going to get relegated? Because you got Man City and Arsenal at the top. Who's going to win the league? Could go either way still. But at the bottom, you got 7 clubs separated by 3 points. One of those is going to go. Bournemouth playing Leicester today. You've got Leeds v Palace. All the teams playing each other, so it's like a proper dogfight. Whoever's got up for the fight is probably going to survive. And they're all nervous, like West Ham fans. Are we going to get relegated? Well, just get stuck in and see what happens.
We had Harry Redknapp on the show earlier talking about his nephew Frank Lampard being.
Frank's back today. Yeah.
What do you make of that appointment?
I think it's a no-lose for Frank. Certainly, it's no-lose for the club as well because. Who are they going to? Nobody in their right mind is going to go in there for 4 or 5 games and tarnish their reputation. So. They've brought in a player ex-player, now a manager, who I think the players will respect. I mean, you have to feel really sorry for Graham Potter, who got the sack.
Yeah.
I say that because he came in, great reputation, and the owners just said, here's 10 players who you've probably never heard of, now make it work. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, so Frank's come in now, he's got nothing to lose. He lost his job at Everton. They've got a European Cup semi-final, quarter-final against Real Madrid next week. But I think the players might respond to him.
He's ready for a move back to Spurs, isn't he?
He said now people are coming back in to manage at various age, 70, 75. He's coming back. But he did say confidence is key. And he said that's what he needs to do, enjoy it, and confidence is key.
I'm sure Frank's a lovely fella, Frank. But I think the players might respond to him. I do think so.
Before I start, I just want to give a shout out to Aidan McGee today because he's in hospital. He's at the Princess Royal University Hospital and he's currently changing wards at the moment. And apparently he's making rubbish jokes to the nurses.
Really? That's a shock. Are you going to visit him?
Take
him an Easter egg?
Yeah, we'll take him a little Cadbury's cream egg.
That'll brighten his day up if you turn up.
A little mini one.
But Showbiz stories?
Yes, I want to talk about S Club. It's front page of the papers today that Paul died. And it is such a shock because S Club had come back together for their 25th year anniversary tour. And I was looking at clips last night. I was actually watching a clip where he was on First Dates Hotel and also another clip when he was on Loose Swimming where he was saying that he actually sold his Brit Award. They won Best Newcomer and he was actually selling his award to get money. And my point here is that he was saying about the rise and the fall of fame. Like there was points where he had that fame and there was points where he sat on Loose Women and said, I literally had to borrow my friend's shirt to come on here and I'm eating pot noodles. And when I watched it, it was quite distressing. to see. I mean, there was reports that he was quite quiet at times towards the later days. I mean, I'm really good friends with Jo. I literally saw her about a month ago, and I know how excited she was when I was talking to her about them all coming back together.
Are they still going to go ahead with it?
I don't know if they will. I mean, oh, there they are, yeah. I mean, I hope that they do. But
you need to find out for us.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just so gutted for them because, like I say, I know when I spoke to Jo how excited she was about them coming back together, and I know all the fans are deeply saddened by this.
Other stories, competition within relationships.
yes.
Oh yes, this is interesting because Alex Jones, she claims that her ex Steve Jones, apparently they phoned up Steve and asked if she could interview Angelina Jolie, and he said no, she's not available for the job, and he did it. Sorry, if that was my relationship, not okay on any level.
But would you put your relationship ahead of a job?
No, I'd put my job ahead of a relationship.
Well, that's what he did.
But I wouldn't have quite done that level. But I see what you're saying. But
You can't have it both ways.
I mean, look, Chris, I mean, I would say that was the lowest of the low. Everybody'd want to do that interview with Angelina Jolie. It goes to your other half, and you, no, not you.
brutal.
Oh, she's not well, I'll do it. I mean,
I'll be asking her about Brad straight away, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But would you have done that? Would you have sort of said, you know, my other half's ill, I'll do the interview instead? No, you wouldn't. Not a nice guy like you.
It's a low trick, that, isn't it? What do you put your
Yeah, I was going to say, Esther, what would you do?
Below the belt. It was
Do you
well
put your
below the belt.
relationship before your job?
Good question, Phil.
No, love, obviously.
That's why you two are relationship goals.
Philip's jaw nearly dropped there.
Yeah, she says that now, but I'll tell you what.
Can I tell you? No, that is wrong on so many levels. You should have been able to have had a conversation and say, do you know what, I'd love to do that interview more than you. Please, can I do? Do you see what I mean?
Because the trust has completely gone, hasn't it? How did you ever trust him again?
No.
It's a basic
Are they
bad one,
over? Is that relationship
Oh, that's over. That's well gone.
Chris, can you keep us up to date with what's going on in the golf?
The golf. Well, did you see the weather last night?
Yes, it was terrible. Is Rory McIlroy out of the US? Is he
he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. He's five over par. The cut's going to come at +2. Probably, maybe a bit over, but they still haven't done a second round yet. So half the field has got to continue. They should be starting about an hour and a half, 2 hours from now. So the first people out will be the ones who didn't finish their rounds last night. And the forecast is terrible. So there's every chance that the thing might have to be finished on Monday. It's only happened 5 times, I think, in the history of the Masters.
And is it going to affect the result in the sense that people going out playing in the decent weather have a massive advantage to the ones?
Exactly. Golf's always like that, though. It's like the Open. If you go out and it's really windy, and then the sun comes out, it's just bad luck, you know. But so this guy Brooks Koepka, who's leading at the moment, the American, who's one of these rebels that are playing on the Live Tour. You know, this other tour that they've all gone for the money in Saudi Arabia. One of the guys who's been allowed to play in this major because there's been a big row and all suing each other, etc. He's leading. Rory McIlroy is out. There's an amateur in 3rd place at the moment. Never been won by an amateur before. A guy called Sam Bennett, 23 years old from Texas. A great story. If he won it.
Well, that would be brilliant. One of our favourite films is Phantom of the Open, isn't it? So if you haven't seen that, it's a fantastic, classic film. Look, do you know what? That's all that we've got time for today. Hayley, Chris, thank you very much indeed. But we'll be back 10 a.m. next Friday. So stay tuned to GB News. Coming up next is GB News Saturday with Martin Daubney. You don't want to miss that.